Now, shifting focus, we have some more breaking news that's coming in. This is in connection with a PIL on women's safety, which is in the Supreme Court. A plea has been filed by Supreme Court women lawyers seeking the chemical castration of rape convicts. The plea also demands a ban on pornography. The Supreme Court has now issued notice to the Centre and several ministries calling for a discussion on social conduct. Crossing over to my colleague Harish to bring us more on this. Harish, tell us more about this PIL that's been put in the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court issuing notice as well now.
Yes, that's right. On the 12th anniversary of the horrific Nirbhaya gang rape and murder incident, the Supreme Court was hearing a PIL filed by the Supreme Court Women Lawyers Association for a pan-India safety guidelines that even suggested castration of convicts and ban on online pornography. And Supreme Court initially observed that some of the prayers are very barbaric and not befitting a civilized society. But on the overall issue, the Supreme Court has issued notice to the Centre and several ministries on the petition filed by the SCWLA, which had sought pan-India safety guidelines, reforms and measures for protection of women. And among the in fact, the Supreme Court said that they were issuing notice to Centre and various ministries and sought Attorney General R. Venkatramani's assistance in it. And Supreme Court said some of the directions sought are barbaric. The Supreme Court, however, said prayer for issuing a code on social behavior in public transport, in buses, trains, airports, airlines, etc., worthy of discussion and debate, and praised Supreme Court Women Lawyers Association President Senior Advocate Mahalakshmi Pavani, saying that you have raised issue regarding the common woman who face day-to-day struggles. So, and in fact, the other prayers are frame rules, regulations for enacting a protection for protection of women across the country. And the PIL sought indulgence of the court for the issuance of a pan-India safety guidelines and also chemical castration as a punishment to all convicts for sexual offences against women and children, permanent castration for convicts sentenced to life imprisonment and death penalty, and also installation of CCTVs mandatory in every workplace, complete ban on unrestricted free online pornography, fast-track trial of all cases pertaining to rape and sexual harassment of women, and MPs/MLAs accused of crimes against women should not be allowed to contest elections until an acquittal order is passed. So, very big development as far as the issue of women's safety is concerned. Supreme Court has issued notice to the Centre and the various ministries and has sought a response within 4 weeks for PIL, which is sought pan-India guidelines to protect the women.
Absolutely. Harish, I request that you remain with us. We also want to welcome the SCWLA President, Mahalakshmi Pavani, on the broadcast at this point. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to talk about what's taking place in the Supreme Court here. As far as the plea that's been filed, this importantly also comes in on the anniversary of the horrific Nirbhaya gang rape. Now, this plea seeks the chemical castration of rape convicts and also demands a ban on pornography. What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, in fact, I'm very glad that the Supreme Court took notice of the fact that I am seeking pan safety guidelines for implementation of, the already stringent laws which are present, but not only in favor of, not only for women, but also for children and the third gender. Because, there are guidelines like the POSH guidelines which have been set up in this inclusion of women on, the Aureliana Fernandez and the inclusion Foundation of India. And then there is also Barun Chandra Thakur's case where it says that to combat the unmanageable rights in cases of child sexual abuse. So what has happened is that we are seeking actually implementation of these guidelines and decisions of the Supreme Court so that they be implemented to bring harsher punishments to monitor. You see, despite all these laws in place, the crimes against women are rising in this country because of the laxity, the unwillingness, and the efficacy of the administrative agencies as well as the investigating agencies. So actually, we have, given suggestions as to what can be done to curb these kind of menaces. Because after the Kolkata rape case, there were about 94 rape cases which were not highlighted by the media. It was only a Nirbhaya case which shook the country because of the media publicity it got. It got a media trial. It was only then the 2013 laws came into place. Now, Atul Subhash's case also, it's just because media took notice of the fact people are saying that the men are committing suicide because of because of mental trauma and things like that. So it should not happen. These kind of incidents or what do you say, soul conscience reviving statements or incidents should not be there. The country should take note of these sections, these stringent laws, and the administrative people have to act on it. That is my earnest, prayers to the court. And seeking, because pornography
Absolutely. Ms. Pavani, do remain with us. Wanted to ask you a few follow-up questions here. When we talk about the overall landscape, especially over the last 12 years, what do you think has changed in a significant way with the way that we respond to these cases?
That unfortunately nothing has changed. The crime against women and children and third gender are constantly on the rise, you see. That is what is lacking. The police force, the administrative forces, they are not putting this law into action. They are not implementing it safely and securely and as it has to be done, you see. There has to be stringent implementation of these laws all over the country because there are rapes. Every 16 minutes, there is a rape in this country. That's the NCRB reported data which says that.
Are you optimistic about significant action being taken in response to this PIL?
Of course, we live on hope, so why not? 12 years ago, Nirbhaya's rape happened in this road. 12 years later, Abhaya's rape happened in the workplace. How many rapes happen in the homes, in the confines of their houses? And what is happening? Nothing is being done. They are all getting bail. See, in fact, I also urge for chemical castration on these convicts. I've also urged that, court takes decision on very harsh punishments. They should take the lie detector polygraph test on the man immediately, and no bail should be given. Unfortunately, despite the fact the effects could got suo motu cognizance of the Kolkata rape case, the man, Sanjeev Doctor, is on bail after 3 months. That is a sad state of affairs in this country. But I have hope. I have great hope.
All right, Ms. Pavani, thank you so much. All right. Good to have that optimism there. We'll continue to track the developments here. This is a PIL that is in the Supreme Court seeking strict action when it comes to the response on sexual assaults that take place. Ms. Pavani, thank you so much for joining us.